So I'm here today with my friend Mark, and I met Mark at the 2016 Daily Herald June Cruise Night, and Mark brought a beautiful Chevelle, had a great story behind it. I gave it the Matt Avery's Pick Trophy just because of the backstory. Come to find out, that wasn't the only vehicle that Mark owned that had a fantastic story behind it. Mark's an original owner of this 1982 Chevy Camaro. Mark, you were 19 years old in 1982. You wanted a new car. Why'd you pick this one?
Well, I had driven a bunch of old cars before, and just knowing that you have something brand new and knowing the history of it and what the car is all about from day one was appealing to me. And I had looked at 81 Camaros and almost bought one off the lot, and then when they advertised this new third generation body style, it was very appealing to me with the handling and everything else, and that way I could order the car with my specific options that I wanted on the car and get it just the way I wanted it.
And it was the area dealership that you ordered it at?
Correct. Today the dealership is Sunrise Chevrolet, but back then it was called Pencil Tufo, and that's where I put in the order for it.
So Mark, the car came in, and tell me, how did you use it those first couple years?
Well, the first, I was only 19 years old, so the first year I did drive the car. Actually took a road trip down to Florida with it, and even drove it on Daytona Beach. But after it got a couple of little door dings in it, and somebody actually, God forbid, somebody ran a key down the side of it. So I did have the car repainted. Oh gosh, it was probably 20 years ago I had it repainted, and then kind of had a little more flair. About 10 years ago we added some the pearl white SS stripes to it. So
now Mark, the work done to the car doesn't stop with cosmetic. You've done a lot to the performance.
Correct. It has different engine, transmission, rear end, full coilover suspension. It's not too many pieces left of the original ones that came with the car when I bought it. I've kind of evolved it and got it to where I want it to be, and now I do used to do drag racing with it. Now I do some autocrossing and road racing. It's now what they call the pro touring scene, which is really big right now, and everybody gets a chance to go out in parking lots and autocross it. It's really kind of nice and fun to be able to enjoy what I've put into the car.
Mark, one of the cool things about your overhaul was you did a lot of work yourself.
Yeah, I did a lot of the fabrication underneath the hood. You'll find that there's some sheet metal that covers a lot of the MSD boxes and the air conditioning unit, and I handmade those out of cardboard and then transferred them over to sheet metal and then painted them myself. I did not paint the car myself, but every modification that's been done on the car I have done myself, installing the rear end, installing the coilover suspension, installing the brakes. Like I said, it's kind of a labor of love to work on cars, so it really is fun to be able to put the parts on there, and that way if something messes up you got nobody to blame but yourself. So you can double, triple check yourself, and then it's done right.
So Mark, you've owned the car for a number of years now, and what's it like after all this time to still go out, you fire up the key and you go for a drive?
Well, you know what, when you fire it up, it's got a pretty loud exhaust system, and to turn the key on it, it still brings back a lot of memories of all the times that I've had in the car since day one, and you think about the different changes that it's gone through, and often, times I've run over the 34 years I've owned the car about getting rid of it, and everybody's like, you can't do that, you've owned the car since brand new. So it really is exciting. And
thanks, Mark, for sharing your story. And if you want to see more classic recollections just like this, go to dailyherald.com. What a cool story, Mark.
All right, thanks.